Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and to non-subscribers, I really hope you do. I just completed my 38th year coaching football. I was a defensive coordinator, but over that time, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. Today, I'd like to talk to you about one of our field boundary blitz concepts that we call Florida Browns, but versus three wide receivers. Okay, and we do it out of our base concept and ball in the hash only. So before I get into the key terms, which I will bring to life over here, okay, up top, balls on the left hash, we're going to talk about the field concept, Florida. And on the bottom, balls on the same left hash, we're going to talk about the boundary concept, Browns. Okay? So, key terms, ball in the hash. Why ball in the hash only? Well, this is a field boundary blitz concept. So, non-subscribers, here's the first one. You got to go to push the button so you can get the introduction to this concept, right? Every offense I've ever coached against has a field and they have a boundary tendency. Okay, all personnel groups. What I have today is 10 personnel formation. Well, they're going to have tendencies for that to the field and to the boundary, right? Whether you use huddle, whatever program you use, you develop the tendencies for everything, including field and boundary for each personnel group. Okay, so that is why the ball's on the hash. First of all, it's a definitive, tangible landmark. It's very easy for the players to know field versus boundary. Okay, but then again, that's if you look at how many times the ball is actually on the hash, you'd be surprised. A lot. So my spotter in the box will tell me just at the end of each play, when the ball gets spotted, near hash, far hash, middle, near upright, far upright. So I have an idea without even having to look and figure. I mean, there's so much going on with the play clock. That's the last thing I need to worry about. So that's what my spotter's telling me. Okay, so this is for either near or far hash. It's all the same. Okay, unless there's a tendency specific to that as well. So that's where we get paid as coaches. Okay, so that answers the question why ball in the hash only. Next up, what is meant by Florida? Okay, field begins with F. Okay, Florida pressure also begins with F. Okay, it is part of our Go family. And in fact, it's the cross. It's a specific Go blitz. Okay, and I'll even get into why we use this, what the tendency would be, hence why we would call it. Okay, I'm going to give you all of that. And so the only time in this whole presentation, and I never do it with our players, I'll call it big field just so you understand when ball's on the hash, to us, that's the field. Some people call it big field. Again, we're into limiting verbiage. All right, so for us, big field is the field. Okay, we're coming from the field. So when it's three wide receivers, it has to be the inside linebacker. That's our rule for the field boundary blitz concept. Okay, and all that is predicated on who's in a position to add to the box. And when it's three wide receivers, we have some limitations, but it's possible, and I'll show you how we do it. Okay, so the cross. The inside linebacker now is the C crasher. So again, non-subscribers, you have to hit the button so you can get access to everything, including the Go Family Blitz playlist, okay? Excuse me. The DN call side and a cross, flash B, loop C, I'm going to show you how we teach that and how it works. And again, that'll bring in the tendency our opponent has from the field, and so this would be why I'd call Florida, okay? The Browns is the same blitz. It's a go cross, but it's coming from the boundary, right? Boundary begins with a B, so does Browns. Okay? Again, three wide receivers. It's going to be the inside linebacker. That's the rule. Okay? So, how we get +1 in the box, it's not going to end up being the blitzer because the inside linebacker is doing it. So, it ends up being a safety and run support. Okay, safety and run support. And then when we're talking about Browns, because that's a fib formation at the boundary. It actually is going to be an outside linebacker and a safety and run support. All right, so I'll factor all this in once I get to the visual part of today's presentation. And then a new term for us here, hedge to the edge. That's the inside linebacker's C-crash technique. Hedge to the edge, hedge to the edge. It's the inside linebacker coming from a totally different angle from a safety or a corner. Non-subscribers, okay? And so he uses a similar technique, but a slight difference, hence hedge to the edge, okay, plus the rhyme. And so we'll give you the snap indicator for the timing because it's crucial, all right? So I'm now going to take all of this and put it into play up here in the diagram. So up top, right, we're talking ball in the left hash. So I've signaled we're coming from the field. That's all the kids know, but they can be screaming Ringo. All right, they don't know which blitz it is yet, but they know it's going to be on the right, big field. So whoever is assigned this responsibility points to the Florida sunset, so now the kids know it's Florida. Okay, so huge. He knows he's in it. What they don't know yet is how many wide receivers there are. So let's just assume it's either a huddle or it's a no huddle, but it's regular tempo, right? So everybody, the offense all looks over to their sideline and they get situated, right? So regular tempo. They get situated. Today it is 10 gun Toledo 2, which in our huddle would mean the halfback is offset to the 3 receivers. That's what that means. Okay? So now we see that it's 3 wide receivers. The Mike is over here. His code name is Michigan. He's screaming Michigan, Michigan, Michigan. The safety's job is to set the coverage. So anytime it's 3 wide receivers, it's either small or medium. So when it's Florida, it's going to be small because only 1 inside linebacker is blitzing. And non-subscribers, going to push that button so you can see the zone blitz coverage playlist. What's also built in, because we're in our base concept, is this is what they call automatic overhang. Okay, auto overhang, which simply means both outside linebackers go to the 3 receivers. Okay, so I don't mind telling you this, non-subscribers. Our base concept is always 2 high safeties, minimum box numbers. Okay, so we got maximum coverage. We got +1 on the perimeter, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3, right? We got it all. Okay, but sometimes there's a price to pay for that, hence how we get +1 in the box. Okay? So now, before I get to anything else here, since it's cover small, right? You'll notice hot 1, hot 3, hot 2. I'll give you this, non-subscribers. All those defenders are reading surface for run or pass. If it's pass, now they go hot to the receivers. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to have to push the button. All right, both safeties are playing quarters. Okay, so the safety on the side of the 3 receivers, quarter help 3, 2, 1, so inside out. Okay, he's not a factor, a major factor in the run support. Over here, the boundary corner, right? So first of all, right, ball on the hash. We have it set up. Secondary goes to field and boundary, hence field corner, free. They go to field. They do this before anything when the ball's on the hash. Their job is to recognize that. Boundary corner, hence his name, goes into the boundary with the whip. That's how it's set up. Okay? So now the boundary, right? He's hot to 1, but he's going to tempo bail on the snap. Okay, so the offense comes out, they see the outside press, they always think they know what they got. And then he does that, okay, playing hot to 1. Here is how we get +1 in the box, safety and run support. The safety on the 1 receiver side has sky both sides. So it's always going to be, no, I shouldn't say always, but it's going to be the defender on the 1 receiver side, okay? Excuse me. And he is going to have force on both sides, okay? So he could see the triangle, the surface for runner passing direction. That's the +1. Okay, so it can't be a blitzer because the blitzer's coming from the box, right? So that's how that works. He is virtually, almost exclusively connected to the pass, but on definite run, because he's reading surface first, he will come down and play his usual stack technique. Non-subscriber is going to have to hit the button. All right. So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk to you about the Florida go cross, the techniques of the two inside linebackers bringing in the hedge to the edge technique. Okay? So what I have up here, let me erase this for a second. Oh, and quarter help. One, they're showing pass. He helps with one to running back on a vertical. The inside linebackers have staggered stances, both of them. Their inside foot is up. For an inside linebacker to execute a C crash, they have to hedge to the edge. Okay? He's telling everybody, Michigan, Michigan, it's me. Now he has running back in coverage. That's small. He's available because only one inside linebacker is blitzing. So first and foremost, snap indicator, right? It's in the gun. Could be this. Could be lifting the foot. Could be when he bends down, puts his hands up. Could be the clap, right? All the different things. For this presentation, I'll say it's this, the fist pump. On the fist pump, the slight difference for the inside linebacker to the corner or to the safety when they execute what they call the creep technique, since he's inside and working outside to blitz back inside, his feet are like this. He's always stepping with his back foot first. That's why he's got this stance. So the hedge, okay, outside, back foot first, bring the front foot, and then increasingly lift that front heel off the ground. Because then on the snap, this is where we would like the mic to be. Right on the edge. We say get even with the heels of your defensive end. And then it's dig crossover. Okay, so that's the hedge technique. Outside first. That's a little different than the safeties in the corners. Okay, now the ball snapped. All right, C crash right off the butt of the tackle. Non-subscribers, you're going to have to hit that button. Okay? So he's first. We're called Florida against this personnel grouping because we're expecting zone read, power read, RPO of some kind. Okay, this is what we're expecting. So he's going to be first, dive, and then if it were a speed option, he'd be quarterback. Okay, he'd be quarterback. If it's power read, he's bending. He's playing the inside portion of the power read game, which ends up being the dive, the quarterback. Okay? So now, DN call side, which he's known for a long time now. Okay? Flash B, loop C. The technique, okay, to get the little separation from the tackle, give him the ability to cross the tackle's face if the tackle's still trying to block him. He's going to step hard laterally, ripping outside elbow. And when that foot lands, bang, 1,001, 1,002. Now you loop C. Okay? So he's second. And he is quarterback. And if it's speed option, he's pitch. Okay? So that's what edge to the edge means. So now the game is here, right? We got it. We see what's happening here. We know it. But we've got the guys available to cover. Those three wide receivers are out there. The guy who's available to execute the cross is right here. Now, because he's not adding to the box, he is, okay, because it's sky both sides. He will add to the box. There's our +1 for a 6-man box on the run. Okay? And that's how this works. So over here, orbit, he's got force should the ball, it's again speed option, or the ball ends up breaking this way. Okay? He becomes the second quarterback defender. Yeah, we're expecting, the reason we're called this, it's a zone read, it's a power read, it's an RPO of some kind to the field. All right? Because there's all kinds of things they can do to those three wide receivers. So now we're going to move down to the Browns version of this. Okay? So now, Browns, right? It's the same go cross blitz, but it's now from the boundaries. Three wide receivers, fib, formation into boundaries, still going to be the inside linebacker. Here's the difference. Browns, it's both an outside linebacker, okay, as well as a safety, okay, again, who is on the one receiver side. One receiver side safety, add him to the box. One receiver side safety, add him to the box. Okay? So remember, automatic overhang up here, it's still automatic overhang down here. Right? Auto overhang. So to start, the rover in this case, because it's to our left, is in striking distance of the defensive end. He is a box defender. Now, since it's to our left, sorry non-subscribers, you're going to have to push the button. He's on the side of the call because we told him it's boundary, it's a boundary. We told him it's Browns, so now he's screaming Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. Okay, he already knows he's in it. They come out, they show they got three wide receivers, so he's screaming the Buffalo, okay? They're screaming small, right? That's the safety's job. He has that same staggered stance, so now he's going to be, sorry, I'll go like this. He's going to be, right? His left foot's his outside foot, so that's going to move first. Same thing, so he can dig off the front toe, the inside up toe, and then cross over. Same snap indicator, right? When he starts to hedge, he just says, hedge. So now he moves one step outside so he can hedge to the edge. And now when that ball snapped, he's C-crashing right off the butt of the tackle. Okay, so all the rover does, when he hears hedge, he steps out. So he goes from here, wrong way, right? He's here to here, right? Boop, he steps out, so now the backer comes inside of him and executes the C-crash. Okay? So then, defensive end, ball snapped, flash B, 1000, 1002, loop C, right? He's second, he's first. So again, what the tendency would be, so now it's versus 10 gun Toledo away, which means the halfback's away from the three receivers. It's either going to be what we just simply call, again, a zone read. So he's playing it from the opposite side of the back. It's outside zone. It's power read. Okay, so now in the power read, he's going to definitely be playing for that quarterback, and the looper would be playing for the outside part of the power read, and the C-crasher is playing the inside part of the quarterback, right? So that's that. Static, non-subscriber is going to have to push that button. He's reading the mesh, okay? Let's just say we get that, which kicks in. He's got Sky. So there is your +1 box. Safety, run support, Browns, outside linebacker, plus the safety. It's really, really sound. So he becomes outside quarterback. If the quarterback keeps it, he becomes inside quarterback. So we are solid as a rock over to here. Again, if he gives it, if it's a keep, if it's inside zone, our C-crasher is there to blow the thing up. And that would be why we call it from Browns coming from the boundary. Okay, and over here, sorry, he'd have been rolled up as well. My bad there. On the snap, same thing. It's going to tempo bail on the snap and be hot on one. It inverts down when he sees it's a run. He's an outside quarterback defender, right? And his help with number one now is going to be underneath to answer that question. So again, in review, Florida Browns versus 3 wide receivers. The rule is consistent in our field boundary concept scheme. Inside linebacker executes the blitz. He's available. We can still get +1 with our safeties and run support. And when it's into the boundary like this, it's +1 2 different ways with the outside linebacker. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. And to non-subscribers, I hope I made the point. Please hit the subscribe button. And to everybody, reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com. It's starting to happen. What it does, I'm learning a ton. I'm hoping the people on the other side of the screen are learning a ton, because that's what this is all about. So to YouTube, I thank you as well for making this all possible.